All right, folks, back on the Bossman show with Coach Troy Calhoun of the Air Force Falcons at the Mountain West Conference. For the first time on the show today, talking to Coach. Coach, how are things out there for you guys out there out in the Mountain Time Zone out there?
Yeah, boss man, I'll tell you this, it's as good as it gets. It's 85 degrees, clear blue sky, no humidity, no bugs. So another great day in Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Yes, yes, yes. Coach, let me ask you this before we get started. How's the weather out there typically? I know they're here in Georgia, it's typically like, hot, humid, and wintertime it's kind of mild. So how's the weather out there when it's not so much in the winter months out there?
Yeah, JR, it's splendid. I mean, truly, I don't know anywhere else in America where you have blue sky every single morning, temperatures that are usually in the 80s throughout the entire summer, and just the amount that there is to do out here. Whether you hike, bike, hunt, fish, or you just love the cleanest, most vibrant cities in the country between Denver and Colorado Springs. Unbelievable place to live, incredible place to visit too.
Now, Coach, one thing about is the snow. I can't drive in snow, Coach. I don't know if you remember the storm here in Atlanta, 2014, when it iced up here. I was in the house for a whole week, Coach. Don't lie. I didn't come out of the house till that following Saturday, Coach. I was out from Monday to Saturday eating canned goods. Thank God I had them, man. I would have been messed up, man.
Yeah. Hey, I'll tell you what, though. What is nice about here, again, how much blue sky. And because you're at higher elevation, when it does snow, it melts off in a hurry. And again, having no humidity, even though the temperature might be a little bit lower, it's not nearly as cold as it would be somewhere where the air is a lot thicker.
No doubt. If you coach at your alma mater, how fun is that, man, that you played there, you're now coaching there, leading this program, left from the NFL, now you're here leading your school again. How does it make you feel, man, knowing that you're leading these young Air Force Falcons into a better life after football?
That's it. You hit the nail right on the head right there, JR. I mean, the opportunities that there are for young men and young women who are graduates of the United States Air Force Academy, the commitment that they make to make our country a better place. And truly, you raise your right hand to take an oath to create more possibilities for liberties, for justice, for our freedoms. And just truly what it means to be an American in that regard. And so, we're very, very proud of our students here. Now, it is a very difficult place, just the challenges that they have day in, day out, but a remarkable level of support that's here. And because of it, it's pretty neat to see what they do 7, 8, 10, 30 years from now as graduates of the Air Force Academy.
And Coach, for you, when did you decide you wanted to become a coach to help young men and young women grow and to be better people? Because that's the part of the coaching that I saw from my father, who's a coach, how he impacted guys for years to come, who still he impacts to this day. So for you, what about going to become a coach? When did you kind of get that itch to say, hey, this is my life's path here?
Yeah, JR, right after I graduated from the Air Force Academy, my first assignment was here as a graduate assistant with the football program. And I was getting ready to leave to go work out in the Air Force in a business in management information systems. And the staff said, hey, if you had an interest down the road, maybe we can work something out assignment-wise in the future. And I think that's really when it first hit home. Golly, when you coach, the engagement, the interaction that you have with others, and to which you referred. Just the way you're able to mentor and encourage and hopefully be a real positive influence on helping young men, young women, when it comes to being able to use football as the vehicle to parlay into a phenomenal education and truly to prepare them for life.
And Coach, you're so right. If it wasn't for football, I don't think I would be talking to you today. For football, getting me to go to college, getting me a degree and a master's degree now. So I never would have had, I didn't have a radio show if I wasn't going to college and seeing a different way, because it was guys like my father, who all the other coaches who in football camps helped say, JR, you have a talent, you have a skill. hone it. Don't succumb to your environment, but push forward. So without those people pushing me forward, I won't be able to here with you today, Coach, because those people when I was younger, growing up here in Atlanta here, who helped me become who I am today.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, I mean, I completely identify, when you're 16 years old, 17 years old, the impact that a coach had on your life. And I mean, the way they were able to share with you and show you a way where you could develop more self-discipline. I'll tell you the other part too is the teamwork element.
Yes.
Just the friendships that you built, to see a little bit deeper in people, when it comes to their heart and their work ethic and their honesty. It's why football truly is an unbelievable activity that cultivates the best esprit when it comes to not only for what you do on the field, but for helping people off the field too.
And Coach, think about the teamwork aspect of it. This year, you got to work out together. Last year, people was at home. You hope and do it via Zoom. This year, guys got to have a true spring, a true summer where they can get in that rhythm of June, July. You got camaraderie in the weight room, eating right with the strength coaches. Tell us about how key that was for your guys and have the opportunity to actually build that bond this year the way they couldn't do it last year.
Yeah, JR, camaraderie is everything. I think anytime you work with, you get two really capable people together, then 1 + 1 with the right kind of bonding can equal 4 or 5 or 8. And, truly the feeling that you have by being a part of a team, and it lifts you to greater heights. It holds you to a little higher standards, which is a good thing. And because of it, it just makes you sprout. It makes you grow as a human being.
No doubt, Coach. And for your young men, the mental health aspect is so important because last year was a tough year. I'm in my 30s, and it was tough for me last year. So how did your young men adapt? How did you kind of foster their mental health? Because when you're dealing with COVID and restrictions, you can't really be a college kid the way you want to be. How is that for your young men? But I think what actually help them grow, Coach Calhoun, years to come after doing what they did in 2020. Hey, if this is bad as going to get for me, I can do anything else going ahead in my life.
That's it, and you hope that realization sinks in deeply, for all of society. If we're able to get through the last 15 months just with the grit and the perseverance, and I think if anything, just an even stronger gratitude, the appreciation that we have for getting to live life, then that means we should go even harder as we head forward.
Most definitely, Coach. And for your guys, talk about this, Coach. Having a strength and conditioning program is very strong to help guys with nutrition, their diet, and their sleep and recovery. It's so important to want to have to play fast for you on Saturdays because I feel like when I was a player, I didn't value my health the way I should have. I was a Burger King, Popeyes guy, going to Mickey D's. I just thought I was young, I could recover, right? But I wish I took more care of my body then. Now I'm seeing how guys are doing it now.
Well, I think you just spoke for me. All those times you're eating all you can eat fries, all the good ice cream and the chocolate chip cookies. There is a lot more, there's just a lot more awareness, in terms of eating the right lean proteins when it comes to good greens to take care of our body. And I think anytime you develop greater respect for your own flesh, then you are an even more unselfish teammate because it's not solely about you and just those instant desires.
Most definitely, Coach. And for you guys, you have a nice non-conference schedule. You got Lafayette, you got FAU, Army, and Navy. So tell us about those non-conference games you're going to play this year outside the Mountain West Conference there, Coach.
Yeah, JR, a very demanding schedule. I think especially with the number of new starters that we have. We have 3 starters back on defense and 3 starters back on offense. So we're certainly going to get tested and challenged in a big way. And yet that's why it's even more imperative during the month of August. What we're currently doing is to pour a very sturdy foundation.
Most definitely, Coach. And for you, my message, Coach, for us recruiting wise, say every kid here from Atlanta wants to come out the Air Force. What would be your good pitch for those young men that want to leave Georgia, come out to the Colorado Springs and that nice blue sky, man, and play for you and your team, man?
Yeah, JR, you'd be around great people. You'd be in an environment when it comes to the quality of education second to none. Not only is that outstanding academics with great, just amazing academic support, but the character and the leadership growth that occurs while you're here, truly, you're going to have a degree which should set you up for the rest of your life.
Most definitely, Coach. And I got two more for you, Coach. In your career, coming to Atlanta, passing through, what's your favorite spots to eat here, Coach, when you come to town?
Hey, there are a bunch. I like Papados up on that north side. I got to tell you, Spondivets over there by the airport. I mean, JR, there have been plenty of times where I pack a couple of shirts and I got a little bit of butter splattered on the front of it when I go to Spondivets. So, no, I mean, you always got to make a Zaxby's trip. You always got to find a Chick-fil-A. You guys have it as well as anybody. And I'll tell you, really, you look over the years, the number of guys on our roster from the great state of Georgia and how they've been not only really, really good football players, but men that have done just amazing things in our Air Force and Air Space Force too.
And Coach, next time you come to Georgia, I'm gonna give you my number off the air so we can go. I got Coach, I got some spots for you. Raised on the river, Copeland's. I got some places for you, Coach. You'll love, man. Trust me on that. I will take
I'm
you.
all in.
We'll take you there, Coach, and you will enjoy it. You will enjoy it. I'll tell you, man. And for you, Coach, we coaching the NFL, Coach. What was it like to be up on that level, sitting at the highest level, and bringing that to your young men today, who knowing that you've been where they may want to go, and you can show them how it's done at that level?
Yeah, JR, I'll share this. I was really, really fortunate in both organizations, with the Denver Broncos, where Mike Shanahan was the head coach, and with Gary Kubiak, who was the head coach of the Houston Texans. They valued character. So who we drafted, who we chose to sign in free agency, we had guys that flat worked. And every single day they wanted to get better. And just kind of, you're contagious. We all are as human beings. And so, your outlook, your attitude, the way you respect and care for others, let that be truly who you are as a person.
Most definitely. Coach Calhoun, it's been fun to talk to you. We'll do this again real soon. I enjoyed our chat. I'll give you my number offline here so you can have it as well. So we'll do this again real soon. And I hope to see you down the road, Coach, and live and in person once it's all this COVID stuff ends, man.
I hear you. Thanks so much for what you do, JR. And please share a hello with the great people of Georgia.
I sure will, Coach. Thank you so much.